Welcome back to another episode on the J.A.T side. Today is Monday, September 1st, aka Labor Day, and I'm very glad to have you join me for another new episode. But today is not just another episode, it's a very special episode because I have a first time guest, friend of mine, classmate of mine, Anthony Pham, joining me on the J.A.T side today. So, Anthony, if you'd like to say anything to introduce yourself, you can.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, I go to school with Jalen. We are actually paired up for a tradition we do the first grader at our school, so that's quite special. She decided to be on here, and thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Thank you for joining me, Anthony. I'm super glad to have you. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. We're going to be talking about our senior year today and just a couple of things that we're looking forward to and just reflecting on some stuff that we've already done. So the first question I have for you, Anthony, is what did you think about the senior retreat we went on in the month of August, and what was your favorite part about
I really enjoyed it overall. I remember the first meeting we had down under the cabinet the first day. They said it would be the best 3 days of your senior year, and all of us were quite skeptical at first because we had a long year ahead of us, so we didn't really know what to expect. By the end of it, I definitely knew what they meant. And by that, it's I've been around the same group of people for like my whole life for 12 years now. So really just seeing everyone in a different light, without any schoolwork, without any burdens on you, it's a really special thing. And my favorite part about it was probably, I guess, a specific part about it was the zip line on the last day. It's at night with the lights on, so that was really fun. But also, just in general, the just interacting with my classmates in a different setting, and just seeing everyone, come out their comfort zone, have fun, and really just connect before our senior year starts. So that's my favorite part about it.
it? Yeah, and that's a really cool thing that you kind of mentioned there towards the middle about you being at George Wallen for 12 years. Like, I think this is a really cool episode for another reason, and that's because, me and Anthony are kind of on different ends of like our experiences at GWA. Like, this is my second year at George Walton. This is his 12th year. So like that just kind of puts it into perspective, like how the big gap there is. Um, but we're obviously still in the same kind of spot senior year, just coming from two different kind of like experiences. So that's another very cool thing about this episode. And I definitely agree with you about the senior retreat. I didn't do the zip line personally, um, but I did have fun at the senior retreat and just had an overall good experience. So that leads me into my second question, which is, what are you looking forward to the most for senior year?
So, coming back to what I said initially, so I've been here for 12 years, and throughout each year, you live and you learn, kind of. So every year I made some mistakes, I learned from it, and each year I try to improve myself for the better. So I feel like 12th grade, it's especially at a school that you've been at for so long, it's really your kind of the epitome year, right, where you put everything together and try to just finish out high school as strong as you can. Trying to achieve the things you want to achieve and the goals that you set for yourself when you're younger. So really, I think what I'm most excited about in general is just trying to use everything I learned in the past and trying to compile it into the best year I can have it in school. And so that's kind of a personal thing that I'm looking forward to, and kind of a, I guess, more broader thing I'm looking forward to, which is, it's just seeing people for the last time. It feels like we have a whole nother year left, but really it's only 9 months left, and it's gonna fly by real quick. It's gonna be busy. You're gonna have a lot of things to do. You'll be stressed out sometimes, but I think as long as I keep on enjoying it, this year will be great. So I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. Um, you know, for you, I know that's like that got to be bittersweet. Being at a school for that amount, like this long, and now finally being at the end of that time. But I think one thing that we all will take away from it, for you, Anthony, obviously being the last 12 years of your life, for me, this year and last year. But one thing that will remain with us is the memories that have been created. Obviously, you have a lot more memories at George One than I do, but we both have memories that we're going to take away from not only our senior year, but our entire time at George Walton. I think we both can agree that we're both very blessed to be at the school that we're at, and we have opportunities that most kids in America, and not just in America but in the world, don't have the access to because of various reasons. But we're here on purpose, and for a purpose, and just the fact that we are here at George One is just a huge blessing and just great opportunity. So my third question for you, Anthony, is what is one thing that you want people at George One to remember about you?
Yeah, kind of a side part to this question. I think just to answer the question initially, I just want to be remembered as, someone that other people look up forward to. So kind of a context of that answer. So I'm the middle child, right? And both of my siblings, I have an older brother and a younger sister. So when my older brother was here, I definitely looked up to him a lot, even at the time, if I didn't really value him as much as I do now. That appreciation for your older sibling really develops over time. So I think I got the best of both worlds, just being a younger sibling and now also an older sibling. Just appreciating what my brother did for me, and how he really paved the path for where I am now. So I think I learned from what he's done, and I really just want to be remembered and leave an impact on the school and the kids coming after me. And it's just something to look forward to, a good example to look at, and so that's definitely how I want to be remembered.
I think it's always a good thing to want to be looked up to and modeled after. And I think you do a great example of that, especially not only with, your excellence in the classroom. If you guys didn't know, Anthony is like the top student in our class. And he challenges himself, or he has challenged himself, and he still is challenging himself with a lot of AP courses. Um, and obviously the AP courses that he's already taken. But this guy has excelled not only in the classroom, but also um, in swim, which is his sport that he competes in. Can you kind of like talk to me a little bit about how you have used swim to just help make you a better person?
I think on a personal standpoint, I think just the way swimming is structured is a very kind of I guess monotone sport. You do the same thing over and over. And when I was younger, I didn't really like that. But then as I grew older, I used that kind of monotone aspect of swimming just to kind of escape away from reality. So every day I have a 2-hour practice, and I really just try to use that as solitude from all the craziness that's going on around me. And also, I guess a broader aspect of that is, swimming, just any sport in general, really. It helps you just stay disciplined and self-discipline yourself and keep yourself accountable for what you do, and also teach you how to set goals for yourself and navigate the path to achieve those goals. So I think it's taught me a lot about not only myself, but how I react to the things that comes towards me and how to overcome the challenges that not only swimming brings or that school brings, but also just life in general. I think it really it makes you explore what's really true about yourself rather than trying to keep a facade on towards everyone else. It really exposes who you are to yourself, and you really learn a lot about yourself. So I think kind of the self reflection aspect of it. I think you can see that in any other sport, but I think swimming especially, since it's such I guess a self-centered sport, because you're in the when you're swimming and you're racing, is only you and you in the lane. So I think that's what swimming has taught me the most.
So yeah, kind of like a me versus me type mentality. Um, but yeah, man, I mean, I'm super impressed with just the way that you have been able to balance not only, like I said, your schoolwork, which you have a lot of um, heavy, challenging classes that you're taking, but then on top of that, being able to still balance that with doing a sport, and not just doing a sport, but competing at a high level in a sport. So, I mean, big props and big kudos to you, and I'm sure your family for bringing you up in a way that you would be able to do that. Because honestly, um, like nobody, especially at a young age, can say that they were able to just do everything by themselves. Like it took somebody, whether it was a person or whether it was their family, but somebody along the way helped to nurture you and help to build you up and help you become the person that you were either meant to be or the person that you currently are. But um, I think uh, honestly, like, just a great example of just challenging yourself and being committed to being the best version of yourself is what you have done so far, Anthony. So, I'm very glad to be a friend of yours and being able to, um, you know, be able to do the first grader with you as well. That's going to be super fun this year. But if there's anything else that you would like to say before we close out today's episode, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I really appreciate you having me on here. It's rare to have this platform, a free platform for you just to express what you want to share with other people. So I really appreciate that. And I also appreciate you putting effort into this passion project that you've done over the past few years, just putting time and effort into something just to inspire other people, regardless if it's a small amount of people or a large amount of people. Every person matters. So I really appreciate you having me here today.
The pleasure is always mine. So if that is all, that will conclude today's episode. I'm your host, Jalen Austin Taylor, joined today by my friend Anthony Pham. But until next time, I'm out.